All right, welcome to a brand new episode of the podcast, everybody. 464. Right when we started getting Music Mondays going, picking up steam, I started having a bunch of guests on, and so that sort of fell by the wayside. So I wanted to take a little break from other guests to get some of the Music Monday applicants on this podcast. So today's the day, everybody. You've been waiting. You're like, what have I been waiting for? MxPx.com. Maybe you've been waiting for that. Go check out our merch. Check out what we're doing. We have some shows coming up. July 1st, we'll be in Quebec, in Trois, Rivières for Festivoix, punk rock weekend at Festivoix. MxPx headlining, and Face to Face is going to be playing right before us. Vulgar Machines. It's going to be a great lineup. So come on out. Festivoix, one of the better festivals in Quebec. And there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of great ones, but this is one of the best ones. You don't want to miss it. Furnace Fest will be September 22nd. That's Friday night. Headlining Friday night, kicking the whole thing off for Furnace Fest. Hatebreed's opening for us. Amberlynn, Reliant K. The list goes on and on. One of my favorite bands, 90 Pound Wuss, is going to be there Friday, the day we play. Yes, you will see the singer of 90 Pound Wuss, Jeff Suffering, on this podcast at some point. I'm going to have him on before we do that show to talk about them. 90 Pound Wuss is actually coming to Bremerton, so that's in July, and I'm looking forward to that. Absolutely, gonna be great. So MxPx.com, thank you guys. Your voicemails have been piling up a little bit. I'm gonna get to a few today. I'll get to more as we get through the summer. Keep calling in though. So it's 360-830-6660. Okay, all right. Shout out to Bob McKnight. Hope you're doing well, buddy. If you're not already a member of the the Mike Herrera podcast Facebook group, please do that, because that's where we do a lot of this business. We talk about Music Mondays on there. We talk about Bob McKnight and his skateboarding contest, where if he wins, he's going to have to do a kickflip in front of, I don't know, a giant audience. I don't even know what that is, but that's all on the Facebook private group. So go there, say hi. I'll say hi back. All right. I'm going to read straight off of this to kick off this episode. So here we go. Kevin Loveland wrote on May 28th, it would be cool to hear your thoughts on the Punk Rock Museum on the next podcast. Have you been there yet? Did you guys send some stuff to be displayed? Just curious how involved you have been with it. Peace. Rock and roll. All right. Kevin, great question. Yes, we sent stuff down to the Punk Rock Museum down in Las Vegas. We have been involved with it. I haven't been down there myself yet, but they have one of my basses, my red Sparkle Ernie Ball Music Man Stingray. That's down there. I played that around the mid-2000s. So one of the big shows we did was like headlining Cornerstone Festival on the main stage there. And there's a few things. But yeah, that bass is in the museum, and there's a bunch of posters in the museum. There's other stuff. There's shrines and things like that. I haven't actually seen it myself, so I don't know how embarrassed to be. But I love that they actually got this thing going, and it seems to be going really great. They have a lot of band guys go out and do tours for the people going to see the museum, the customers, the patrons. So that's kind of fun too. You get to hang out with one of your favorite band guys, that kind of thing. So I'm all for the Punk Rock Museum. Definitely a supporter myself. I will be going there when we play When We're Young Fest, October 22nd and 23rd, playing 2 days, not nights, probably more like day in Vegas. At least it's not midsummer. That's going to be brutal if it was midsummer, but it's in October. We'll be all right. All right. Somebody else wanted to know, Daniel Wilkie, been keen to know Mike's opinions on people doing covers of his work on YouTube, etc. Easy question. When it comes to covers, I love seeing people cover my songs. It's like seeing a kid ride a bike for the first time. When you see your kid ride a bike, it's like, oh yeah, we're doing things out in the world, and people are picking this stuff up and taking it as their own. I remember one of the best things was when people used "Do Your Feet Hurt," the lyrics from "Do Your Feet Hurt," as a way to get a girl. Like ask a girl out, send her that song, Do Your Feet Hurt, Can I Call You Sweetheart, or even Baby Doll. Pickup lines, you know. So anyway, I love it. So cover away. Please keep posting covers. If you don't already follow MxPx on socials, follow MxPx, follow the hashtag MxPx, and when you post things, make sure you tag us. Also use the hashtag MxPx, all of that, and we'll see it. I would love to see your covers. If you don't already follow us on Facebook, go to the Facebook group, like it. If you're on Instagram, it's MxPxPX. We're always looking for more interaction. We're looking to connect with you guys, and things are starting to happen now. We just did a test on our live stream. It's just, I think things are about to go crazy. I don't know what to say about it. I don't want to say too much, but I think things are going. Anyway, just to put a point on the cover thing, it just makes me proud. It makes me happy. And if people are like put out a terrible cover, that's okay, because people are at different levels. You know, you gotta just work where you're at. And we weren't always that great either. And sometimes we're not even that great now. You just never know. Did I just say that? All right. Thank you guys for checking out the last couple episodes. It's been great. Brendan Scholes, Mercy Music, their album, the full length, comes out the 30th of June this month, if you're listening soon. So make sure you guys check that out. Of course, Dave Smalley, Don't Sleep is his new band. Hardcore, East Coast. If you love that sound like I do, check out Don't Sleep. The record is fully out now, I think. But they have a bunch of songs out from it, if not. I can't remember exactly when it came out. Dr. Daryl Wilson of the Boll Weevils, that was awesome. Their new record is out, and people love it. So if you like punk rock, Chicago-style punk rock, is there a Chicago-style punk rock? Not really. I mean, maybe, but they would definitely fit in there. Joe Sib, 460, that was 4 episodes ago. That was awesome. He can tell a good story, and we know each other and go way back. So if you want to get in on that, please don't miss that Joe Sib episode. Okay. All right, you guys. Last time we had Music Monday, we had a bunch of bands on. We had, the Jackknives and et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to get to all the ones. I think these are all the ones that I saw since then up on our it's on the Facebook Mike Herrera podcast private group. So that's the easiest way where I can just go and look at what people write on there. And that's where I post, the episode posts and all that. So that's the best place to go. So let's get to it. Let's get to our first Music Monday. And this comes to me from my buddy Omar. Omar Zahari. I don't know if I said your last name right, but Omar and us go way back to when Hit the Lights, his old band he used to be in, Hit the Lights, toured with us. And those dudes are so awesome. Every single one of those guys we got along with. I still see some of those guys today. Colin, I think he was their first singer. He still hits me up from time to time. So anyway, Omar hit me up. He's like, dude, I heard about this Music Monday thing. I just did this project with a buddy of mine, and his buddy, I think his name is Davey, DL Burden. So the band's called DL Burden and his Questionable Intentions. And we'll play the first song off of the new album or EP. I'm not sure if it's an album or EP, but it's called Thank You and Good Night. Here we go.
Think saying something stupid will make me change my mind. To stir you up so we don't hit the gun fight. We can listen to your thoughts all night. But I remember vividly when you used to take my breath away. You can shine a light in your whole backstory. I'm sure a little better in your head. Make every heartbeat anticipate, and the world will still forget you last day. Would I remember vividly?
All right, you guys, that's cool. That's cool. I really dig that. I don't want to play too much of these. I keep getting flagged on my YouTube, If you don't watch on YouTube and you enjoy YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube page because I've been putting these out on YouTube. And if there's a video, I'll put the video up, that kind of thing. But I don't want to get flagged too much. Anyway, this song, guys, well done. D.L. Burden and His Questionable Intentions. Now, obviously, it's just a little snippet of this, but instantly that voice kind of grabs me. It's a unique voice. It's gravelly, but he's still singing and he's telling a story, and then you hear the organs come in. It's got this like punk thing, and then it's got like a little bit of English vibe to it. Why is organ so English? I don't know. I mean, it's not. I think plenty of American bands use organs, but it just seems to give me that UK sound when I hear an organ, like Elvis Costello or even the Specials, like ska, OG ska Specials kind of stuff. Very cool. This is like post-punk. It's punk, but it's posty. It's all punk. I mean, it's funny. You hear people griping, online about like if somebody posts on a punk page this band that's a little more pop than punk or something like that. Oh, that's not punk. This, that. It's like, dude, it's all from the punk genre. The Ramones were poppy as hell, and those guys are punk. Tell me I'm wrong. All right, awesome. Let's get on to the next one. We have, let's see if this works. We got Title Holder from the Facebook page. And let me see if I can find this because I know he wrote a little blurb. But as you know, when you're watching or listening to this and I'm trying to find stuff on the Facebook page, it takes a second here. All right, we're getting there. Here we go. I think it's going to happen. And if I can't find it, you guys, I'll just move on and play it anyway without reading you the blurb. Okay, here it is. All right, Matt Sullivan wrote, he said, "Hey team, looking to submit my band for a new Music Monday segment. We are the Title Holder, ska pop punk group out of New York and New Jersey. Newest song is way more pop punk than ska, but we got some earlier stuff to keep you dancing and skanking. Getting ready to release a full length this summer on Jumpstart Records. I believe MxPx released vinyl through them ages ago. You are correct, sir. You are correct. All right, let's get to it. Let's make this happen. I don't know.
Static, drug to an addict, you should be concerned. So don't waste your time, cause you runs the bet. Throw you away like a cigarette. How could any of this go wrong? They all said to me, hey, you never had a chance in hell. I would sell my soul.
Cool. All right, that's Title Holder, Never Had a Chance in Hell. Very cool stuff. Not bad. Sounds pretty cool, you guys. I like it. Like you said, it's kind of music that can keep you dancing. A little pop, a little punk, a little ska. I dig it. Our next one is going to be right up here. And I scrolled right past it so I can come back to it. All right, here we go. From Stony Garcia. Hey, Mike, I was wondering if you could feature one of my songs on your podcast. I make all kinds of styles of tunes, but I really enjoy the punk rock stuff. Here's my song, Accelerate. It's all me through GarageBand. I programmed the drums and recorded my instruments through a Shure MV44. P.S. I'm just a bass player. Now, Stony, little word of advice. Never refer to yourself as just a bass player. You're so much more than that. You wrote and recorded all this stuff yourself. Now, we haven't heard it yet, so maybe it's terrible. That's okay, because I write so many bad songs to get to the good songs, all of the above. And when it comes to recording and production, it is not easy to do things yourself. I mean, some people have a knack for it, for sure, and they just make things sound like magic, but don't sell yourself short. And thank you for submitting. Let's get to this. Let's get to this song. It's called Accelerate. Of course, everybody's putting ads on their. Everybody puts ads on their YouTube that has like 5 views. All right, let's skip this ad. Sorry, you're not going to get much revenue from me today. Here we go. Accelerate. Stony Point Road is the name of the band. All right. It's got some good energy. I like the part. I like that progression. That's punk rock, you know? Punk rock. Mix is a little rough, but like I said, it's punk rock. It's kind of a demo. Cool. All right. I dig it. Thank you for sending it in, Stony. Keep it up, man. I'd say just keep working on that stuff because it's sounding cool. And as you do more, you'll just like tweak your sound. I mean, if you've heard MxPx Renaissance EP, that was the first thing I ever recorded and mixed all by myself that was released. And looking back, I got to admit, it's not my best work. It doesn't sound huge. It sounds a little small. It's demo-y sounding. It's rough. It's raw. At the same time, it's kind of cool. I kind of like it. I kind of like some of that vibe, you know? But if you put it up against a really nice recording, then it's kind of like, okay, it doesn't really hold up. But I just want to encourage you to keep rolling it, man. All right. What do we got next? We got, oh yeah. Speaking of covers, we got Jack O'Connell and Thong DeLong. So Thong DeLong and Jack on drums. They covered Responsibility. And I'm just going to scroll back up to this. And Jack O'Connell actually wrote on our Facebook. He says, my friend Christopher Kerr, Thong DeLong, that's a great name, and I did a cover of Responsibility. Hope you dig it. Now, this cover is great, you guys. It's almost better than MxPx did it. So let's check it out.
I don't want this responsibility. Me because I don't agree. While I do or die. While I do or responsibility.
Cool. Dude, the video's great. Great job, you guys. Thank you for doing that. Thanks for posting. Thanks for tagging us. All of the above. I don't know about the song, but it sounds really good. It sounds really good. You guys. All right, what's next? We got Anthony Moon. Here he is, Anthony Moon from the Facebook page. I'm a little behind on some episodes, but I was really encouraged by you mentioning you want to build up the community and give spotlight to our bands on the podcast. Listening to episode 455. Yeah, yep. In that light, thought I'd share a track my band put out. Cool. The band is called Clarification, I think. And the song is called What You're Made Of. All right, let's get it. Oh, ads.
We provide you with something more
No.
than auto.
No. Here we go.
I love the way that you hate how I drive, and I hate the way that you love my mind, and all the rabbit holes that I managed to find. I hate the way that I always freak out. You spend your nights trying to figure me out, and why I had a panic attack that night. We got locked in the park.
All right, dude. I wish I knew more about your band, like where you're from, how long you guys have been around. But hey, thanks for putting out the new track. Thanks for submitting. Thanks for letting us know about it. Clarification is the band. What You're Made Of is the song. And it sounds a little messy, but it's also kind of hard for me to hear this. A lot going on, riffs, vocals, drums, all that. But the song itself, the chord progression sounds cool. Like, just keep rolling. I'd love to hear what you guys do next. This song was released in 2021, so maybe you're working on some new stuff. If not, you should be. All right, let's go. Get it. All right, let's do, I think we have at least one more. Yeah, let's do one more. Let's find it here. Here we are. One of our podcast Facebook group members, Jeff Miller, top contributor, by the way. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. So I really dig New Music Mondays. I'd like to submit my band DSM-5. We released a single earlier this year. We're a 4-piece from Omaha, Nebraska. Hope you dig it, Mike Herrera. This was 2022. All right. I'm glad you let us know you're from Omaha, Nebraska. Legends. Let's get it. Cool. I wish I knew what DSM-5 is, what it stands for. Is it like DSM-5? Like is that an S for a 5? I don't know. I'm not confused. I'm curious. I want to know more. Anyway, maybe just find your post here and post it up on the Facebook, like what DSM-5 stands for. All right, thanks for submitting, Jeff. I appreciate it. We'll do another Music Monday at some point, but no rush, everybody. We're good. But I enjoy this. It's just fun to hear what you guys are up to. And maybe I'll do, when the MxPx record comes out, I'll do a new Music Monday for that, I'll have to have one of you guys on to host. Anyway, a couple voicemails. All right, let's see what you guys had to say.
Hey, what's up, Mike? Love what you're doing. Music Mondays. Nice to see your message came through. Some of these kids. Anyways, I was just wondering if you have read The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. And if so, your thoughts on it. Okay, thank you. Godspeed.
Yeah, I wonder what your thoughts are on it, because I have not read The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. And if that's his new book that he's been promoting, or he was promoting last month anyway, in May, I saw a clip of Rick talking about how he doesn't really have any, he doesn't play drums, he doesn't know how to record music, he doesn't mix music. He's paid because he's got really good taste in music, and he's good at communicating that to his clients, that to artists that are looking to make their best album possible, right? I mean, that's kind of what he was talking about. I memean, not everybody can be a Rick Rubin, right? You have to be your own, whoever you are. But I'm just trying to think, like, for me, when I see clips about Rick Rubin, it's funny because it's like, okay, this guy's like, one, he's a genius, he's amazing, but it's so weird because what does he really do? He's like a shaman, he's like a guru. He changes the energy around him, and anybody that's in his presence will have an energy. That's the vibe I get, right? I don't know if that's actually true. I could be talking out of my ass, but I wonder what your thoughts. Maybe call back in. I don't know. Maybe you already did call back in. I wish I could tell you more, but that's all I got for right now with Rick. But I absolutely am fascinated by his career. Starting. I know he didn't start with the Beastie Boys, but that was sort of like his big thing. He was really into the hip hop scene. He's a guy that just, he captured the zeitgeist wherever he went. And I feel like he still does, just on a smaller scale. You know, things are different now, but even him, the fact that he's making the Red Hot Chili Peppers make great records, you know, I doubt their records would be anywhere near what they are right now. And that's just, a good producer can really make that happen. And artists, just like athletes, need coaches. We don't always get those coaches, but anybody in their life would do better. You remember when life coaching was like this big thing? There's a life coach? What do you need a life coach for? I don't have a life coach, but I see the value in it. If it's an actual real coach, if you have somebody that's really going to make you better, sure, call them a coach, whatever. That's a real thing. That is real. That happens. That when you listen to like a self-help podcast, sure, you have the ideas to be better, but when you actually are coached, all right, coached and motivated to, all right, get up, exercise, get up, eat right. If you have somebody not yelling at you, but making sure, did you exercise today? Oh no, but I'm going to do, I should have done it right when I woke up. Did you eat right today? Whatever it is, that's a coach. A coach helps you be better. And I think Rick Rubin is a really good coach for artists trying to find the deepest meaning they possibly can, or whatever that is, the feeling. It doesn't have to have meaning. Not everything has to mean something. You can just feel it. Just feel it. All right. Next.
Hey, Mike. It's Josh Jones again, calling back. It's been a couple of months since I called back last. Anyways, I've been back for a couple of weeks. I'm trying to catch up with your podcast. I've been listening to it, honestly, going in to and from work. I think you asked on one of them, like, how are you guys listening to us? Are you paying attention? And I am, for the most part, except for having to look out for crazy drivers, I guess. Anyways, I'm on like 452, the Rolling Stone. That's the one I'm listening to right now. I have a couple of questions. Furnace Fest is coming up. I was looking at the list of artists that are going to be playing there, bands playing there, and a lot of them caught my eyes. One of them in particular, 90 Pound Wuss. They're one of the bands that I haven't actually been able to see, so I'm super excited. They're doing a warm-up show, I guess you could call it, in Bremerton before the Furnace Fest, and I was hoping that maybe you guys were going to do something similar, maybe because I know you got lots of shows coming up, but none of them are in Bremerton or the Seattle area. So I was wondering if you're going to do like a local show anytime soon. It's been a while since I've seen you guys, so I would be excited to see something like that. If you guys aren't, it's whatever. But and then one other question is I've got lots of tattoos, a lot of MxPx tattoos, a lot of like old school Sailor Jerry tattoos, which I think are kind of in line with what you look for. But my tattoo artist who used to be in Bremerton, he sold his shop years ago and left. And I'm itching for a new tattoo. So I was wondering if you had any recommendations on a local tattoo artist in like the Bremerton, Kitsap area, maybe even as far as like Seattle, someone who does a good job, because I'm in the market for a new one. Anyways, that's all for now. I appreciate you doing everything you do, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Josh, thanks for calling, man. Welcome back. I'm sure you were overseas or whatever. Josh is he's in the military, armed forces, or at least you were. I think you still are. Thanks for your service, bud. Thanks for listening on those drives, paying attention to the craziness, but still listening. Furnace Fest, 90 Pound Wuss. I just mentioned this at the top of the podcast. I am excited for 90 Pound Wuss to come to Furnace Fest, and I can't wait. That's like, I think for me, because it's like being a kid in a candy store. All these bands that we grew up touring with. 90 Pound Wuss was one of the ones we toured with when we were very, very young, very new, starting out. seeing the world for the first time. We played so many shows with them just at the beginning, and that probably has something to do with why I love them so much. But as a band, they're just so much fun. There's so much energy. They have this old school gutter punk style, but then they have a little bit of like a post-punk modern vibe too on their Secondhand Operation album and stuff like that. So it's not all the same thing all the time, and it's intense. So I am a fan. I'm a fan. That being said, I can't tell you what we're gonna do, but everything we have announced right now is going forward. We have some festivals. I know people are chomping at the bit and want to see us in a club, and they want to see us in Bremerton or in Seattle. Thank you, and believe me, we're not trying to just ignore that or whatever. But a lot of times, a lot of bands will do shows in their hometown for warm-up shows, but we actually kind of do it the opposite. We'll go somewhere else to do warm-up shows, like somewhere far, far away, and we'll do a Bremerton show or a Seattle show or a Tacoma show or somewhere in the area. We'll do that when we're really in the swing of things, so not as a warm-up. So I think that's why we haven't done anything lately, but we're still in the warm-up phase. But I appreciate you, and I will see you at that 90 Pound Wush show in Bremerton. It's at the Tracyton Theater. What else? Oh, you want to know about tattoos? Okay. Yeah, my first tattoo I ever got was in Bremerton, Washington. I want to say I was 17 years old. I wasn't 18, I was 17. I technically had permission from my mom, but my mom did not show up. So it was illegal. I got an illegal tattoo. But yeah. So that was Tattoo Technique. That was the first shop I ever went to, ever. And then as we started, and I will answer your question, as we started touring, I started getting tattooed in California and other places, and that's why my tattoos are just kind of all over the place in a lot of ways, because I was just getting a tattoo here, a bit there, that kind of thing. And it's funny what you think is cool when you're young, right? So as far as like around here now, oh shoot, I accidentally hit something. As far as tattoo places now, I mean, there's been a few places that have come and gone. There's Silver City Tattoo, that's still around here in West Bremerton. Joe, you might want to check him out, Joe at Silver City. And then I would say the other one is Woodwork in Minette, and that's in Bremerton as well. That's East Bremerton. And that has, Kyle Wood owns that place. He's a great guy. Also Kier, that, you know, he's been tattooing around all over the place. He used to tattoo at Lucky Boys, Silver City. He tattoos there. So I would say those are the two places, Silver City and then Woodwork. Woodwork is, you're not going to go wrong. There's a bunch of artists there, and it's a really cool venue. It is kind of a venue, because aside from being a tattoo place, they do open mic type things, not shows, but just performances. Cool spot. Anyway, I know that there's got to be a couple other ones. I know there's I can't think of the names of them, but there's one on 6th and Callow, like around, like up the hill from there. There's a shop, but I don't remember the name of that. And anyway, I hope that answered your question. And let's get to one last voicemail, and we'll call it a day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Here we go. Here's one more.
Hey, Mike. Just wanted to give you a ring here today. You may know who I am. I'm not going to tell you my name on air here if you played this, but I live in Texas. I used to live in Las Vegas, so that should give you a little hint there. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I've been going through some really rough stuff in my life. You know, some of the worst shit imaginable, right? With family members that are dying, battling illnesses, car accidents, surgeries, layoffs. Just got hired at a new company after I was laid off. So there's just been a lot going on in my family, and I feel like it's been a really, really dark time in my life. And one of the things that's really pulled me through is listening to your music. And this morning, one of your acoustic versions of Moments Like This came on, and I just really appreciated it. Makes me feel good. And you asked, I think, on Instagram what kind of we wanted to hear about, and I would love to hear kind of some of your darker, sadder songs. What inspired those, and what led you to that place, and kind of how do you get through some of these dark times in your life? Because I feel like we all have them. This is just kind of that part of my time. So love to hear from you. Wish you the best. You're looking good. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks for calling in. And that is, man, we're finally getting into some real meat. And I'm sorry to hear that you're going through such a tough time right now. And it's really hard to find that perspective when you're in it, when you're in that storm. But let me try to think. I was not prepared for this, obviously. So I was just thinking about moments like this today, literally earlier today. I was thinking about do I have any songs that are all my songs just like whatever, like about this or about that, about being like my life story, being late all the time, you know? No, there's some songs that actually I think can hold some weight and can speak to people. And I think moments like this, even though it's talking about me having kids, you know, whatever, you know, aside from that, like little, like sort of detail, everything else is pretty broad to life when it comes to that song. And I feel like that's a song that I get a little choked up if I think too hard about what it's about. Now, let me try to go back to when I wrote that song. I was writing right on the back porch of the studio here, and I had my acoustic guitar. And a lot of times I just like to be outside when I'm writing. It's just like, I don't know, it just makes me feel good to be outside. So I'll just sit out on the back porch and write. I remember writing that song, and as I was writing it, I just kind of felt like things were just coming together lyrically, and I was just like, wow, this song means a lot to me. And I didn't even set out to write it. Like, I didn't sit down and go, I'm going to write a song called Moments Like This about, you know, life and about little times in our lives that we can remember and look back upon and feel good about, or the hard times, you know, and it's the simple things about like childhood when, you know, the reason why I wrote the line about the screen door slamming shut, you know, screen door, you know, whatever. It's like, the reason I wrote that was because in my mind, I thought of childhood, and I thought, oh yeah, I remember summers when it was hot outside. We had the screen door, or it could even be at a relative's place. You know, I have a lot of memories from like going on those family vacations down to California. It's hot, and screen door, slam, slam, slam. And, you know, one of your relatives, for me, it was my grandma, my grandpa on my dad's side. We'd go to their house in Fresno, and he had an orange tree out back, and it was just like this old school California vibe, and it was very picturesque. For a memory to have in my mind, it was very picturesque. It looks like a movie or something like that. And so, like, to me, that screen door slamming over and over, that I just started writing it. I didn't think to write it. I was writing it subconsciously, right? And a lot of those songs that I write that have that deep down feeling, I'm just pulling out feelings. I don't connect them exactly to times in my life, this or that. I do possibly when I'm writing it down, but I'm just so happy that I have a line that seems to fit together and make some sense that I just keep going and just keep going. And I remember when I wrote that line about when I look up to the sky, you know, will my kids look up to the sky and think about me? When I wrote that line, I teared up, because I was so deep into thinking about just the life and death struggle of what we got going on here with our experiences. You know, kids grow up so fast, and you never get that time back. You as a kid used to be a kid, and now you're an adult, and you're having to pay bills. You're having to deal with all these stressful situations. Like, you're talking about family illnesses, being laid off, looking for a new job. These are so stressful. And for me, I get those experiences, but I get them in a different way, because I have I don't have like a job where I can be fired, but I have a job where if people reject what I do, if they don't listen to the music, if they don't buy the t-shirt, if they don't buy the ticket to come see me play, I'm basically being fired from my job and I'm looking for a new job, you know? So those stresses are always there. It's always a stress of, am I going to pay my bills next month? Because usually in my line of work, I will know a month or two ahead of times, oh, we're running out of money. We have no money. Like, I'll kind of know it's happening because it's not like a regular job where you just lose your job and you stop getting money. Ours, it stops quickly, but we still have money that we haven't got paid for like, you know, people listening to a song or this or that, you know, like every little bit just comes in and then that helps pay all our bills for all the MxPx stuff, all our personal stuff, that kind of thing. So, it's stressful, but it's a little different. And so I think when I write lyrics, I write the feeling. I guess I just can't go wrong when I'm just putting myself out there. You just can't go wrong. And it's not always going to be received well. And that's just not up to me. That's up to the universe. That's up to you as a listener. But I'm sorry to hear you're going through bad times, but I love the fact that music really does make a difference in our lives. Music, it keeps us tied down to the things that keeps us sane, keeps our heads on straight. And when I listen to music that I love, it really sets me on a forward motion. It gets me motivated to do better. And I think when it comes to those stressful situations, I mean, don't take my advice because I just do for me, but I just tell myself, just do a little bit today. You know, you can't get everything done. You can't get everything done. So I prioritize and I do a little bit each day. And I know what needs to happen now. It's like somebody's waiting for me to get them this, so I need to finish these notes or these things or this whatever. That's priority. And then podcast. Okay, podcast is sort of like, okay, well, as long as I do it sometime this week, I'm good. So in my mind, I compartmentalize. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I really do push some of the things that are stressful away. All I can do is just be truthful and be as honest as I possibly can. And I'm sure I'm going to think of a bunch of things to tell you right after this, but I do a little bit each day if I can. And then prioritizing, you know, for me, it's kids. My kids and my family are priority. And this band is a huge, I mean, this band is part of my family. You know, let's admit that right now, because everything I do here informs everything I do everywhere. Like it's all connected. So when I write songs, when I make videos, when I'm doing none of that and I'm just hanging out with my family, it's all the life. It's all living life, right? So I don't mean compartmentalize that, but I just mean the stressful thoughts. The stressful thoughts. Yes, you don't have a job, this or that. Just do whatever you got to do to fix the most important situation. And it sounds like you did. Well, at least one of the most important situations was finding a new job. That's got to be the most stressful thing. And I appreciate you guys for your support and the fact that I don't have to constantly be worried about it, even though I am. Like I said, we're all kind of a little irrational, aren't we? Like, even though you know everything's going to be fine, you still worry. And I think that's what I wrote worries about. You know, it's like, yeah, we've all got worries. Some are small, some are big, some are ridiculous, in fact. But they all kind of make you feel the same way. And I think that's what that song's about is, well, of course it's a love song too, but all right, you guys, that's it. Thanks for your call. I hope Texas is treating you well, or I hope it will treat you well this summer. And I hope to see you guys at a show. All right. MxPx.com. Please help me stress less. There's a bunch of items. There's some packages that are discounted. There's some t-shirts that are discounted right now. Just go over to MxPx.com, find the merch arsenal, and that's it. All right, you guys, until next week. Next week I have, do you guys know Diesel Boy? Dave Lake of Diesel Boy. He's going to be on. Their band is awesome, and they're putting out a new record, so we chat. All right, until next time, peace out. Bob McKnight, I love you, my friend. Thanks for helping me out with this podcast. And everybody else, I'll see you in the Mike Herrera Podcast Facebook group.